I don't know what we can talk about in this nation without talking about white superiority, honestly.
Who defines the meaning of God also defines the relationship between economy and God.
African Americans spent $1.3 trillion last year, making us the 16th wealthiest nation in the world. Why have we not turned those riches into wealth to develop our community?
Peace, family. It is so great to be with you guys today. I was telling everyone as backstage, we have 2 days in a wake up until HAPI's Day of Black Excellence. And tonight we are bringing you guys like a little preview fire of what's getting ready to happen. Okay. This is just going to be such a magnificent event. So before we get started, before I start bringing everybody in, if we could please like and share the video. All right. And if you haven't gotten your tickets, I don't know what you're doing. Because listen, I'm telling you right now, when I try to tell you guys about the VIP tickets, nobody listened to me. And then I got about 10, 15 calls afterwards trying to get tickets. And I was like, they're going really fast. And same with the vendors tickets. So those are all sold out. We have some, we have a few, if you're in the area, in the New York City area, you definitely want to be in the house. And we have a few tickets left. Okay. So you want to try to secure them as soon as possible, because I don't know if on the day we'll have those tickets. And if we don't, it's already a tight space. So you would have to get a live stream ticket and sit in your car and watch it. That's not a good look. So just go ahead and get if you're going to be around, just get your ticket right now. Go to happyfilm.com and pick it up right there. It's strolling at the bottom. Happy Day of Black Excellence. All right. Make sure you are liking and sharing this video. And without further ado, I'm just going to start bringing on everyone. And before I do that, let me just give a shout out to everyone up in the house. I see Strawberry. Strawberry was like the first person. She was patiently waiting, and thank you, Strawberry. Rashi Melacombo, she has her little ticket. She's bringing her and her son. She secured her tickets early on. Brian Bino. Brian is in everybody's chat. Oh, I love me some Brian. And Colette, Michelle, that's what's up. So listen, family, please make sure you like and share this video. And without further ado, let me bring everyone in. So we have, and let me get rid of this right here. So part of the HAPI's Day of Black Excellence, we're going to show like some special clips. Well, a special clip of HAPI, and we're showing a special clip of Amadeus Christ's video, his movie, his beautifully, executed movie, Heavy as a Crown, Volume 1. Out of the Darkness, Heavy as a Crown, Volume 1. We're going to show, a special clip of that. So let's bring in Amadeus. Hey, Amadeus.
Peace. How you doing?
Good. And Amadeus is he's already in the New York house. Wait, yo. You bring my green hat?
I got you. Yeah.
Okay, yay! All right. He got his merchandise. He's ready. All right. Let's see who we got next. All right. We have Infudishi Jihuti Miss. He's in the house right there. He's already in New York waiting. All right. We have Dr. Susan Tata. And Dr. Susan, you know what? Do you travel tomorrow, Dr. Tata?
Sure.
Yeah, I think you're traveling to New York tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Okay, and we have Dr. Ken Harris, our host of the Happy Day of Black Excellence. Yay, he's traveling tomorrow too. Listen, family, this is gonna be fire. Okay, now we have Professor James Small. There we go. There's Professor James Small.
I got the hat.
Where'd you get the hat?
Hey, bro. Hey, can you grab my hat in there?
Oh, that's low. That's low, Amadeus. That's low. Oh, that's messed up. See, I could have had my hat on. You know what? And your hat matches the new HAPI merchandise. Oh, that's messed up. You wait till I see you tomorrow, Amadeus. All right, and we have Dr. Georgina Fulu. Yeah, I'm feeling some type of way.
I got it.
Yeah, I gotta get that green one. That's out cold.
Exactly. And then you had the nerve to put it on, Professor. Oh,
Yeah, because as you were feeling some type of way, I'm looking some type of way.
The hat prices just went up $150 a piece.
See? Yo, listen, fam, if you don't do anything, just come to the Happy Day of Black Excellence to get your green hat. This hat, wait, we got to showcase this hat. This hat is fire before we get started. I love this hat right here. Oh, that's fire. Okay, you looking good, Professor. All right. All right. All right. I'm going to look better in mine. I'm going to look better in mine. I'm just letting you, I'm just putting that out there. That looks good. Okay.
Professor Smalls is wearing it the New York way, too.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I made the curl.
Yeah.
Dang, that's mess. Oh man, you didn't even tell me you got your hat. Anyway,
matching glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. See, everybody know you done got the hat. All right. So family, please, before we get started talking, just in the chat, if you have your live stream ticket or if you have your in-person ticket, just put it in the chat so we know who is going to be in the house. We are so excited. We are finishing up with the small little details with this event is going to be fabulous. February 4th, Saturday, between 1 and 9 p.m., we have a big old event. So we are going to have everyone that's on this panel. We're having a special presentation by Dr. Susan Tata. We have Kaba Kabane, Infudici Jihuti Miss, Professor James Small, Dr. Georgina Fulu. They're all going to give some. I just can't wait for their lectures. It's going to be off the hook. We're going to have Riza Islam, who is traveling right now, so he'll be here tomorrow. He's going to also give a lecture. But then if that wasn't enough, like I said, we're showing a part of Amadeus Christ's new movie. We're going to show a special clip of HAPI, but then we also have performances by Jamar Milton. Brand Nubian is in the house. Like that's dope. And we have a poet, Lyrical Faith, who will be also performing. And we have some Ghanaian drummers that's going to open up everything. So it's going to be just a day of Black excellence. I mean, that's it.
May I make a comment? I just saw my godson from Ghana, Daniel, who said he's watching from Ghana. So that's good, Daniel. I didn't take your call this week because I'm mad with you, but I'm glad you're on. He's a very special young man who I've known for almost most of his life, actually. So.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. Okay. Yes. And James Turner's in the house. So, okay. So, you know what? Let's go ahead. Let's start with you, Amadeus. And, just kind of tell us like what you think and what you hope for 2 days in a wake up. Like, what is it that what's going on in your mind, and what are you hoping to that happens on the day of Black excellence?
For me personally, I would like to network with everybody there. As a businessman, I see this as an opportunity to connect with other like-minded people like myself. Hopefully, there'll be some people there that are on the same wavelength as I am, business-wise, shooters and editors, people that's just have a skill set that can contribute to what all of us are doing, using all of our unique individual skill sets to help each other. I'm looking at it as a unity event, to showcase that we can do events like this and be positive and be constructive, pull off successful events that generate, finances and interest, and we can keep doing this and hook up and get a few words from the master teachers and hopefully just, level up my game.
Yeah, you thank you for mentioning the networking piece. So, this is, a lot of hours we're going to be sitting together, but we have carved out time so we can just sit and network, because that's what it's about. The sharing of ideas. This is very reminiscent of what happened when we were in Detroit at the Power of Unity conference. And the one thing, we planned out everything, but we started to just look at the networking piece, and which had just organically just popped up, which was really, really nice. And so we're making sure that we continue to foster that, because that's like you said, it's all a time for us to level up. That's what's up. Thank you. And Dr. Ken Harris, so you hosted, Dr. was speaking about, Power and Unity, the conference. You hosted in Detroit. You are from the D, and now you're going to be in New York City. Tell me what's on your mind.
I mean, one, we get a chance to extend the HAPI movement and bring some warm ancestral love to New York. And one thing I love about when we come together around an agenda that produces unbelievable spiritual receipts, you don't have to worry about the next event because it's already done. So, when we get into the synergy and the energy takes over, the vibration, everything starts to happen. The ancestors come in. It's over with. It's a done deal. I can't wait to witness the wonderful thoughts that have already been created in the spiritual realm coming down to the physical realm. And we're in a significant point in history where you have wisdom and youth, you have disciplines across all industries and sectors of life, and we're all coming together, and we're realizing that no one can lead us but us, and this is our time. And we're not going to just look at the mountaintop. We're going to take over the mountain.
Right on, bro.
That's right. That's right.
So I'm here to make sure that energy is flowing. Do less talking and make sure that we bring the pros and the masters to the table so we can put on that grand show that's already been planned out.
Yes. Yeah. And Dr. Harris, I mean, you kill it as a host. I mean, but your presentation, and and shout out, listen, family. Just a little side note: if you have not seen the special that we had with Dr. Ken Harris and Dr. Tyreen Wright on Booker T. Washington, you do not know what you are missing. Just go to YouTube and type in HAPI Talks Booker T. Washington, and it will show up. That was one of the best shows. I learned so much about Booker T. Like that night, I was like, damn, I need to figure out how to draw Booker T and put him on my t-shirt or something, because it was such a powerful conversation. So family, make sure you check that out. So Dr. Georgina Fulu. Yeah, and let me just, before you talk, Dr. Fulu, I told everyone about the story about you. So Dr. Georgina Fulu came onto the Power and Unity conference late. Okay, so she was like, okay, and she has some little papers with her. And we're like, okay, you just, get up there and you don't talk. So she didn't really have a time to really even get her conversation ready. This woman got up to the podium, and not only did she say, listen, we're going to stop talking, it's about business. She gave everyone her personal phone number across the thousands of people that was on live stream and the people sitting in the house. I mean, sitting in Detroit at the DoubleTree, her phone number, and said, call me, say you're with HAPI, and I will help you incorporate your business for free. So that is who is going to be this Dr. Georgina Fulu is this little woman right here will be in the house. So family, make sure, don't you come talking to her, talking about a business you thinking of, because first thing she's going to ask is, where is, you got your paperwork? So Dr. Fulu, talk about what your expectations of is for Day of Black Excellence? Don't you have to unmute your microphone?
I think she froze a little bit.
Oh, how is she frozen? Okay, let me see.
Her mic is muted.
Yeah, her mic.
And her picture froze.
And her picture froze.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we bring in another Dr. Georgina Fulu. Here's another one. There we go. Okay. All right, Dr. Georgina. Yeah, Dr. Fulu, talk to us about your expectations for Saturday. Oh, your phone is muted. Okay.
And it's still muted.
Yeah, it's still muted. I don't know what's going on.
There she go.
Okay. Yep, Dr. Fulu. Okay, they're gonna come back. They're gonna come back. All right. While we're waiting for Dr. Fulu to come back, Infodusi Jihuti Miss. What are you thinking about for this Saturday?
Sharing in this Black excellence and being a part of history, because that's what we're doing. We're creating our story. So every time we're doing this, say, Dr. Harris just made a concept. We are the ones we've been waiting for. Nobody's not going to do this for us. And so we're coming to make history, create history, and be a part of it, a living history, a living alive. So I'm just looking forward to being in the now. We talked about this backstage, being in the now, creating the vibration that will last for eternity. I'm going to do my job of promoting our classical language, the Madhu Necha, and I'll be pushing that concept because we still got stuff that we haven't uncovered yet, that I'm still reading about, and we haven't began to touch on it. But it's in the Madhu Necha, and everybody has borrowed from us. And it's time for us now to claim what is ours. It's time for us to stop just reading their translation. It's time for us to go to original works. We're going back to that symptomatic thing. So I'll be really pushing that symptomatic thought concept, because we can't. And Professor Small made it really clear. I'm thinking about Dr. Sanjetti, Jacob Crothers' book, Spiritual Warfare. We're at war.
Yeah.
And so I'm coming there as the Mfundishi, ready for war. Yeah. I'm not taking any prisoners. I'm not taking any prisoners. I'm coming, I'm dropping science. That's all. And I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm enjoying the journey as well as the victory.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we've already won. We're just going through the symptoms now of victory.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about it. My students are excited. All my students is already. We're gonna be in the house. We're in the house. My daughter was like, "Dad, I'm riding with you." So we're ready to go. We're ready to go. We're excited. We're ready to go. Black excellence. Nobody's going to do it for us. We have to do it. And with the panel we got and the people we got, we're going to be a trailblazers. So I'm excited about it. And I'm just looking forward to being able to drop some real science.
That's what's up. Yes. And I'm gonna do my walk because I was trying to get the walk that Infodusi Jihuti Miss did at Power Unity when he walked in and opened up the conference. It was like a mix between like I don't know like some Egypt cat. Okay, some Kemetic cat and Michael Jackson because it was like you were just floating on air. It was fire. So thank you. All right, so, Dr. Fulu, are you with us? How is this happening? Okay, Dr. Fulu. Okay, I got something for Dr. Fulu. We're gonna bring her back. Professor Small, can you talk to us about what you're thinking about for this weekend?
I'm contrary, so I'm going to defer to the Queen from Africa, and then I'll speak.
Okay, and that Queen must be Dr. Tata.
Yes. She's representing a continent of over 1 billion people. So she's got a lot of weight on her shoulders. So she should go before me.
So, Dr. Tata, yes. What's your what is your take for this weekend?
Well, I think just like Professor James is saying, we have a lot. We have a lot to I don't know to whether to correct or to show or to bring it to the table, because like the whole continent is looking upon us. The continent doesn't know the difference, our challenges where we're living. They just know that if Africa would have to develop, it will be done through its skills and talents that were wrapped up from them. That's all the continent know. So us changing that story means the ability to how we would perform. I'm taking the example, like I'm in Germany for 20 years, and I know how difficult it was for me to penetrate that space with our African narratives. Germany, you can imagine, the Germans say if you make it in Germany, you can make it in heaven. And so, what they mean actually is like if you succeed to plant your culture in that kind of a structured, a conservative atmosphere or country or people, if you can change them to or influence them in one aspect or the other, so they call you a god. And we know the history why we became a broken people. We know where all our problems came from in Berlin at the 1884. And it's just unfortunate that we can talk about everything, but we keep sparing the Germans. We keep giving them the privilege too much of, like, I don't know. And that's why what I'm looking forward is, how am I going to be able to actually convince us out here that we have scores to settle? How am I going to push across this message of, if we don't break the spells in Europe, probably we'll still be turning around the whole circle? How am I going to convince us? How am I going to bring the story of your expectation about what you know about motherland Africa? Because a lot of us are just, I don't know. The ones I'm talking to now, us here, we don't have a problem or issue. Even the ones that are watching us, because those ones are already with us. These are already the conscious one that we've gone around with our projects, with our movies, with everything, and they're already there. But the challenge is, how do we take this conference out into the public? How do we try to get those that, for one reason or the other, have no clue about Africa, refuse to be Africans themselves? How do I actually bring all of us on board? That's what I'm looking forward. That's what I'm pouring all my libations to all the ancestors that are sending me. How do I tell the story of Amadeus Christ on the continent? How do I bring the good work of Professor James, of Dr. Kane, of Mama Fulu? How do I bring this? So I'm coming actually, like Prof said, with a whole baggage, with a whole load on me. And I want somebody to help me with that load. I want somebody to uplift me. I want somebody to just say, it is okay, we can do this together. Because I fought it in Europe, and I was able to penetrate. I was able to bring the whole, from the top of the ice cream, to be able to smell what is truly African. But we're still misrepresenting ourselves out there. We're still trying to do even our projects from a perspective of a European. And now I want to see what I'm expecting is to be able to convince you to tell you this story in a way that you would believe, in a way that I'm not talking about us, I'm talking about the audience that is coming to watch us. I just don't know, but I believe that my ancestors have put me and whatever thing before I say it, you would understand it. You would understand that we are not here for a show. You will understand that even though we say we are networking, it is not a coincidence that we are networking. We would understand that our gathering is not of our making. It is because these pieces that are going to meet are the real people to deliver. Whether you did a movie on Heavy is the Crown was not your knowledge. It was the ancestors already in you that is bringing that message to the platform. And that's what I want us to understand, that these ancestries that have been flowing into us, most of us that are carrying these genes, really like we said, the recessive gene, it is heavy. How are you going to support? How are you going to say we are one, we are power in unity? How are we going to network? How am I going to bring all of you to Germany in June? Because I told you a couple of times on the Pan African Daily, if there's one thing Germans respect, is you African Americans. I think because they have seen the war, they have seen that you don't take anything for granted. They have seen that you give up everything for you. So how can we bring this energy over, particularly to this kind of, to this kind of places that it is even the cause of where we are today? So I think this meeting for me means more than anything else. I was just here. I went back 3 weeks, and now I'm here just for this purpose. You can imagine everything that I give up to be in New York, in Queens, in that particular place where Eddie Murphy saw Lisa and said, "I'm coming for my bride," and he was coming from America, and he was coming from the continent to America to look for the bride. And now me, the bride, is coming again from the continent, and we're going to meet in the same place. So who am I looking for? When I say me, not me as a person, what is the spirit coming to look for at this time? I look forward to that.
I want to make sure.
I just hope nobody is going to cry this time around, please. I just hope I'm not coming. Luckily, I'll be physically present, so much so that we will dance a lot and cry. But I cannot just help it because it's not my voice. It is not even me in the physical. I'm just a bride of the continent sent by my ancestors to bring these things to you. And it doesn't matter how my language is going to sound, how my accent is going to be like, whatever thing I'm going to do that I don't even know what I'm going to talk about or present, or how I'm going to, maybe I'll just stand and look at you and we just laugh and dance and cry. I don't know. So I'm looking forward to see what is going to happen.
I am coming to this conference to make sure each one of you understand that this is empowerment now moment. Each one of you must have a determination of taking the steps, the specific steps, to be part of the movement to empower our communities so that we own the properties, we make the decisions, and we decide what's going to happen in our communities. And whatever happens, it has to be related to our children advancing in education, our families advancing in housing. But we need to own those houses. We need to own those institutions. And you might say, well, how am I going to own it? I will guide you. I want you to follow me because already we have organized 58 corporations and they are working, all of them. And there are millions of dollars that our communities are not sharing. We have a right to share Why? Because we all pay taxes. Even when you don't pay income taxes, you work in your payroll, you're paying taxes. Let's go to the bottom of the numbers and let's make sure that our communities grab the proportion that need our community to advance, to be stable, to be healthy, to be living in adequate conditions. So I will bring a strategy where each one of you will find what's the role you need to do. You could be member of the board, you could be owner portion, or you could be employee, you could be grabbing some of the jobs that this corporation are going to develop. We're going to develop what our community needs. And I will be guiding you step by step, holding you by the hand, so that not only you develop the operation that you want to do or the services that you want to do to the community, but also that you do it in a healthy financial manner. It's about time that we start addressing the needs that we have to grab the numbers, make sure they make sense for our needs, and work with it, not with a term of 3 years, 5 years, but forever, meaning that even when we disappear, those corporations or organizations or businesses continue operating to make sure that our families and communities have a firm step of what they're doing and grab the control. We need to control our community. It's about time. We need to make sure we make the decisions that our community needs for our family to be firmly following the purposes of what our children want to do, our youth, our seniors, our women, our families together. That's the purpose. Please join us and make sure that you meet me and make sure you participate in many of the groups that we plan to develop while the conference takes place.
Yeah, you know what? Listen, family, I'm laughing because, Dr. Fulu in Detroit, what she's talking about with getting these groups of people and sitting and talking, she had a group of people, but she was supposed to be on the panel discussion. So I came to get her. I was like, hey, listen, it's time for you to get on the panel. And she's like, no, I'm here doing paperwork. I was like, no, we're waiting for you. And she was like, no, I have to get them. I got to get everybody to sign their paperwork. I had literally had to take this woman's purse, kind of with a little force, make her stand up. And people that was in the group, I was like, look, y'all got to stand up with her. We're going to all have to go into this auditorium. So when Dr. Fulu is she's very clear, and she is 100% not going to play with these groups. So you guys need to make sure you come in with your ideas and ready to share, because Dr. Flu will definitely be ready. She's no joke. All right, Professor Small.
Well, starting with Brother Ken, right through Infidisi and Amadeus and Sister Tata and Dr. Fulu and yourself, of course, the thread is about the ancestors in us. And so I'm going to be dealing with the spiritual piece. Everyone will be dealing with the spiritual piece, but I'm going to be the focuser on that spiritual piece. And I remember way back many years ago in the slave theater, when I first used the term, I'm God having a human experience, half of the people wanted to leave. And the people putting on the program told me they might not invite me back again. And I did it at the First World. And I was told, if you do that again, you're not going to speak again, because anybody that was Christian or Muslim, and I'm up there saying, I'm God having a human experience. You're God having a human experience. And 30 years or 40 years ago, people didn't really want to hear that. I think now the ancestors have shown our greater masses that the totality of everything is divinity, and we're just an expression of an aspect of that totality. That's our culture. That's Africa. How do we find a way to explain it? Infidisi will be doing it through the Medrunecha, because language is where the philosophy and the ideology of a people is carried. And that's why we have such trouble in America, where we speak this bastardized, oppressive language, it doesn't carry our ethical and moral essence as cargo. You have to have your own language to carry that. Now, one thing I've learned from the spirit is that within the context of our consciousness, our language still exists. Infodisi will teach us how to bring it from the subconscious to our tongue and to our intellectual space. But it is that thing, that spirit thing, that Susan was talking about. I've never heard her get that deep with the spirit before. You know, we are spirit living in a design encased matter that we designed for ourselves. We are our creators. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to try to get rid of the myth of other people's theology in the conversation and talk about the African cosmological and ecological reality. You know, we have and I agree, Baba Mfadisi, and the first time anyone told me that was Malcolm's sister some 30, nearly 40 years ago, that we had already won the battle. We need to negotiate the victory.
Yes.
We have won the battle, you know, but we must negotiate the victory. And that's a very tricky piece. But the victory will come in the face of this lady, Dr. Tata, who's representing that continent, that womb out of which all of the rest of us in the diaspora came from. We got Dr. Fulu from the diaspora, the Hispanic diaspora. Yeah. You got Mfadisi from the East African diaspora, who's here in the West. And we come from the multiple other spaces across the continent. But at home, like my young son, Daniel, and hello, Daniel, and to the family, because I know all y'all watching down in Ghana. Being a businessman in Ghana for the last 20 years have given me the opportunity to really see how to create relationships across the chasms that the enemy created with slavery and colonialism. How do we fill those ditches with real clay, you know, real substance, so we have land to walk on again and communicate with one another? So spirituality is really a discussion about our reality. And that's where I'm going to be coming from. I'm having a deep discussion. And I just love the way Susan expressed herself, you know, as a representative, a spiritual representative of nearly 1 billion people. How do we tell that billion on the continent? And Mfadisi is in Ghana. He has enterprises in Ghana. He's dealing with people. He's building institutions in Ghana. And I remember when I first went there, I was consultant for a group of students from Cape Coast University. And it was very difficult at first to get them to understand the crime committed against us by Europeans. You know, they didn't really understand that. And I had to explain, I'm not gonna help create a partnership between you and the Europe. I'm gonna tell you how to break those chains, you know? I'm gonna tell you, see me, you know? And I just want to tell you one thing that happened to me in Africa. I've been going for 47 years and multiple things happening, but this will come to what HAPI is trying to do. Some years ago, Ghana started under my friend and ancestor, Brother John Jerry Rollins, Emancipation Day. After having gone to Jamaica and saw the Emancipation Day tradition there, he wanted to start it in Ghana. So myself and a lot of other African Americans who had participated in the founding of Panelist got involved in this process. And we took 2 bodies there, one from America, from the African burial ground in Brooklyn, and then one from Jamaica. And so on that day that we're carrying these 2 bodies through the streets, they're being given a state funeral. One of them had been away from the continent 400 years. The other had been away from the continent 250 years. And now they're being welcomed back home and being given a state funeral, right? And the whole country is turned out for this. So the young people of Ghana said, we want to know what you went through, because we didn't really know about slavery. So there's about 80, 90, maybe 100 of them chained and shackled and being whipped and beaten in the street with real whips and welts and blood coming on their back. And I lost it. I know what this was supposed to be, but I saw a young girl get hit by a whip, and I saw the welt pop up on her back. And the next thing I know, 3 policemen was holding me down to the ground because I had knocked the boy out, took the whip, started beating him, had no idea I'd done it. And the minister is over me saying, Small, it's not real, it's not real, it's not real. And I'm trying to figure, where am I? But something in me came alive in another time and space and acted. And that's when I knew that we can come back home. I knew then we could come back home. And I knew, and when the young man who I knocked out, he got up, when they helped him up, he came to me and he apologizes to me. And he says, we just want to feel what y'all felt in the diaspora. So when I'm listening to Susan, I know the burden she's carrying, because the diaspora, we think of the diaspora as just being in the West, in the United States and Canada. But there's a diaspora in Germany that she's struggling with. There's one in Switzerland. There's one in Denmark. There's one in UK. There's one in Poland. There's one in Italy. And it is Susan who's in Europe, waking that African diaspora up.
Right.
Okay. And that's not an easy job. We have a lot more freedom to do this here in the West than she has to do it in Germany. Trust me, you know. So she's just, her bravery alone should be commended, her courage to do this thing. But I know she's carrying the spirit, because we've been working together for about 2 years now, nearly. And she carries this enormous spirit, which can put a lot of weight. But we want her to know, you are representing our mother and our father. We're the children out in the field. And you've come from the house where mommy and daddy live, where papa live. And you come to tell us we must reunite. Pan-Africanism has to be more than just a word. It has to be a process, a function, institutional building, coming back to the language, as Infidisi is trying to bring us back to the classical language. You know, I can speak a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I can hit a little Kiswahili on a good day. I can do some fancy better on most days. I even shock the people at home when I decide to get the courage to do it. But what you learn about the language, when you start speaking the language, you think differently about the world. You know, that your world is viewed in a different kind of way. And so I'm just looking forward to us sharing and living this moment. And also in our sharing and living, instructing and informing others how to live in their moment. A little 6-year-old girl said to her mother this week, they'll be at the conference. She said, my God lives in my heart. And she says, I'm 6 years old. My God is 6 years old. And then she told her mommy her age. I can't say the lady's age. And then your God is that age. And she says that her God, you know, I forgot how she put it. It was something like, I don't know, her mommy's watching. I don't want to get this all wrong. But her God is also her ancestors. This is a 6-year-old baby. That's deep. This is a 6-year-old baby who is untainted, undamaged. And she sees the universe for what it is. You know? And so what we're trying to do is explain the universe, explain the ecology and the cosmology and our role in it and our relationship to it. That's our culture. Music is a tool of culture. Dancing is a tool of culture. Instruments are tools of culture. Culture is the understanding of the totality of being, and the methodology for which we teach it is the thing we call culture, because culture is your primary education system. So that's what we're going to be doing, just having fun on Saturday, enjoying one another on Saturday. You know, maybe I'll get a light blue HAPI hoodie. You know what I'm saying? For this, we ain't got ours yet, right? I'm still wearing the old girl, but that's cool, you know. But I want one of the blue ones, light blue ones too. But we're just gonna be happy, and I'll get to meet face to face for the first time, Sister Susan Tata. So if I pass out in the auditorium, you know why? Because I would have met the Queen. For the first time, I would look on her face and her flesh and feel her African energy, and I would be most happy and honored. You know. And Brother Ken, let me say this: I saw Ken and Dr. Wright do a piece. There was a time, and the only person I heard talking about Booker T. Washington was me, for decades. But these two young people, they did a show on the master like nothing I had ever seen before. And HAPI facilitated it. You know, HAPI was the vehicle that carried that body of knowledge to the world. So thank you, Baba Ken. I'm gonna have to be calling you and getting closer to you, because when we see Booker, we see what HAPI is talking about in action. We see Garvey, we see what HAPI is talking about in action. When we see Patrice Lumumba, we see what HAPI is talking about in action.
Sure.
HAPI is talking about how do we reconstruct the African universe here on Earth. You know, that's the concept we're talking about.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's enough talk. You know, I'm done.
Listen, family, make sure this is just like a little preview. We're getting ready to close out, but I want everyone just to kind of talk about what does Black excellence mean to them, okay? And we will start with Dr. Ken Harris. What does Black excellence mean to you?
It means that we're given a time to live out our experience in this physical form. Is to be taken seriously. We are, what Professor Smalls would say, the advanced version of our ancestors' DNA. And my job, and I'll say quite frankly, is to ensure that the next generations don't have to fight the same fight that we're fighting. And for those Negroes with egos, for them who have been in place to hold the gates of those who oppress, it's time to move them the hell out the way, because our time has come, and those who are meant to be here to deliver the message, we coming straight, no chaser. We taking the game to a whole nother level. And as I would say, the revolution just won't be televised, it will be digitized.
Go on, brother.
And this is our time. So I'm gonna just, when I say Black excellence, we come in, we not just lifting the bar or setting the stage or breaking glass ceilings. We creating other dimensions that others will have to rise to. And that's how we come. So that's Black excellence.
Yes, okay, all right. Amadeus, let's continue to build. What is Black excellence?
Black excellence to me means us being the best versions of ourselves. Black excellence to me means knowing what team we are on and being highly competitive, and performing and bringing whatever skills to the table that we have, bring those skills to the table to help improve the conditions of everybody on our team, wherever we are in the world. You know, Europe, Africa, the continent, the Americas. We just really have to focus on what needs to be done. Stop making excuses on why we can't do it. Realize that we have the power to do it and get it done. And you know, anybody that's around me knows like I'm not really a person of talking. I like action. Um, when we get together, I feel like that energy that's gonna come together like melanin clusters. It's just gonna activate everybody's energy, and that energy is unstoppable when it's focused and when we're all on the same page. So, in the spirit of unity, and in the spirit of Sankofa, looking back and bringing the past into the future, and knowing that we are the future. I think we have a job to do, and I think we just need to really get serious and buckle down and show the world what we're capable of.
Yes, all right. Dr. Georgina Fulu, can you build on to what does Black excellence mean to you?
Black excellence to me means when we have the confidence that we can achieve and that we can lead and that we can go for the purposes that our community and our families need, and we're confident that we could achieve those results and continue making sure that the conditions remain so that the youth that follow us follow in our path with that confidence, with that trust, with that affirmation that when we identify goals, we will achieve them, and that we have no doubts and no weaknesses that will impede us to reach those levels. That's so important because throughout the 58 corporation that we have organized, you know what has been our main challenge? To convince the people organizing it that they are the organizers, that they are the control person, that they can do it, and to follow their own mind, their own heart, and to trust. So we need to do that. And everybody who comes to the conference, I trust that when we finish the conference, they are determined to follow that path, to be in charge, and to follow what they want to achieve and to go for it.
Yes, yes, yes. All right. Infodici Jihuti Miss. Black
Yes.
excellence means what?
Nefer, nefer. Ah. That is Black excellence. Nefer, nefer, ah, kemet. And that means, and you have to put mer in it. It means not only being the best version of yourself, but being the captain of the best version of yourself. Because you could be the best version of yourself being controlled by somebody else, like an athlete, telling what to do, where to go. But you're the best version of yourself. So the best version of yourself, and you're the captain of yourself. And you got so much love, you want to build with other captains who are the best version of themselves. And we will make ancient Kemet at its glory the foundation from which we will go way beyond. See, the idea when we're teaching Kemet is not just to imitate that. That's a stepping stone. That's a ladder. We see the excellence in Kemet. Can we go way beyond that? So that's my job. I want to help people see the excellence in themselves. And there are no limits. I remember my parents and people used to say the sky is the limit. Well, when I got into the Kemetic spiritual system, I realized the sky is not the limit. There is no limit. The sky is infinite. The creator is infinite, and you are the creator in a human form. So therefore, your abilities are infinite. No limit. So get rid of the sky is the limit. There are no limits. So Black excellence means that you have no limit. You're always reaching higher. You're always going beyond, going where no man has ever went before. I sound like a Star Trek commercial, but that's what it's all about. We are star beings. And I want us to get rid of those limitations, get rid of the I can't, and just manifest. Like I say, the victory is already here. So Black excellence is claiming the victory. So that our children, our youth, and so that we can open up our eyes and be the powerful beings that we're supposed to be. So that's what I'm looking forward to. That's what I'm looking forward to. My participation is to help us reach excellence, to be captains of our own ship. Juanta.
Okay, who's going to go next? Dr. Tata or Professor James Small?
Baba will go first.
Ladies first. Ladies first.
All right, Dr.
Okay.
Tata.
Thank you very much. I think for me, Black excellence has a face now. Before they were just words, but there was no image to it. Black excellence has a female face, a Black woman face. So gone are those days where they used to just like Prof was saying choo 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 choo, but now it has a face. So people can look at Black excellence and they define it. They will not mix it anymore. They will not be confused what Black excellence is. Black excellence has shown its face that I can excel as a Black mother, as a queen. The queens are arising from all the corners of the earth and coming together to create a better world for humans again. So that Black excellence, I don't think whether it's for me, but like I just said, it is unity. It is bringing all the broken pieces together. And it's just unfortunate that nothing can be done against this energy. But the energy is seen now. Like I said, in the past, we used to see all sort of images about particularly the Black woman. It always has to be with poverty. It always has to be the woman in the kitchen that has to, even though the kitchen is the greatest place, we always have to see the African girl child being the one that is being, begging for aid, or we have to see children with stomachs that are pushing up and flies in their face, in their mouth. What a shame for the world. So Black excellence is now. The face is there. The face of the mother queen of the earth is Black excellence. And nobody can bring down that face. It's just so exciting the way we define it and the pieces that are bringing those faces together and the kings that are rallying behind us. I mean, when we hear that the movie about Queen Zinga is about to explode, when we saw Women King, when we saw Wakanda, all these things were already the excellence that was being shown to us. But most often we just see them like movie. And so I think Black excellence it's the face. Now you can put that face out there and you can say, I see it, I know it, I touch it, I feel it. It's not just words. It's not just even being better than what I do. I don't see that as excellence because many of us are still being murdered, we're still being killed. No, there was no face to that action. There was no rising, there was no queen of the south that was coming up, but now it is here, and New York is going to experience it like never before. And so that's for me. I don't know what I can call that.
Yep. Family, listen, I can't keep saying this. Make sure you have your tickets for February 4th from 1 to 9 in Queens. It is going to be, this is just like a little taste of what Black excellence is. And, you know, if, I know we keep talking about the Power and Unity Conference because that was the beginning. Um, and everyone that was there experienced an elevation, a crossing over altogether. And now we're at this point. We're at Happy Day of Black Excellence in New York City, and it's going to be a continuation. I want to also say shout out to Taki Grant, organizer of the Happy Day of Black Excellence. He just joined us, hardest working man I know. How you doing, Taki?
Doing great. Excited. Looking forward to Saturday. We have a lot in store for the audience. A lot of little gems that we really haven't discussed, and what you see here is just the icing on the cake. There's so many other elements. This thing is layered in many ways, and it's really about Black love, and it's layered that way to really share with the family what we feel. And we want to show people that, we're loved, and we want this love to reverberate and keep moving forward. I just want to say thank you to everyone that's here. My brother, Dr. Ken Harris, it's my man, hangout partner in the D. Dr. Susan Tata, looking forward to meeting her. Looking forward to meeting my brother Amadeus, Dr. Fulu and Infudishi, Jihuti Miss, and Professor Smalls. Those are people we've been with for a long time, and this is about what we do, so we're looking forward to this family, looking forward to sharing this experience with you. It's going to be a action-packed lineup. The agenda is filled, and it just moves. It moves, and it almost reminds me of the film. The way the film moves is the way this agenda moves. And it's going to be 8 hours long, 8 hours plus, and each moment it's something that's exciting. It's not the presentations are woven in to the agenda in a way that people are going to be going like on a ride, just a different emotional ride from just start to finish. You're going to have this, you're going to have that, you're going to see this, do that. All your senses are going to be stimulated, in various different ways. So just be ready, and definitely, I said this, we've been saying this since day one. If you are in the New York City area, get your tickets, come to the event. Live stream is cool. But if you can make it to the event, make it to the event, because the live stream experience is not going to duplicate what we're going to have in the theater. You're going to get it. You're going to see it. It's going to be nice. But to be there and to be around this and to be with these people, this experience is not going to be duplicated. We're not going to record this for sharing it later. And you definitely can't even duplicate the spirit and the energy that's going to be there on tape and on film. So, family, this is what we need, and this is what we're going to do this Saturday.
What's up? Yes. All right, Professor Small. Black excellence means what to you?
Zora Neale Hurston said how did she put it? To be there, you have to go there. To go there, you have to know there. And so Black excellence means to me is that we're beginning to know the essence of ourselves. We are learning to know ourselves. When you learn to know yourself, you learn to love yourself. And when you learn to love yourself, you learn to love the reflection of yourself, which is your brothers and your sisters. And so Black excellence to me means the coming into being and the coming alive of the African people, wherever we are, because we're going to be seen all over the world. Africans in Europe will be watching this conference. Africans on the continent, like Daniel and his family in Ghana, is going to be watching this conference. Africans in the Caribbean are going to be watching this conference, and here in the US and Canada. And so we're talking to our people about, I think Mfadishi was saying it, it's like becoming alive. We exist. We're going to be there is no ceiling. The sky is an illusion, there's no limits to what we are capable of doing. And when we look back at our history, the pyramids, the tombs, we had no limits then. And we want to replicate that understanding of knowing there is no alpha and there is no omega, right? There can't possibly be a beginning and there can't possibly be an end. There's just infinity. And that's who we are. We are the forever being.
I tell you, you are the man of coin phrases. I tell you that, Professor Small.
New one, huh?
You know what? Peace out to the people in the chat. We have you know, peace to Robert, to Davon. Davon has, if you follow him on Facebook, he's always had somebody T-shirt on. You know, Davon, I hope you are coming up 95 to check us out, and get your green hat, because it may not be any left after you know, everyone's been talking about this green hat. So make sure that you are, you know, hopefully you are going to be in the house. One thing that when I think about Black excellence, right here, and Anthony, I was like, wow, I was like, is he reading my mind? But Black excellence to me means the power in unity, and it also means Black love. Because once you start tapping into, and it's just really, I think we're all saying the same thing in just different ways. But once you start tapping into the love for yourself, it's so much easier to then love everyone else around you.
Yeah.
And that's how we move our community. That's how we start trusting one another in a real way, and we start to make things happen. It's the power in unity. So, family, I just hope that you have heard as something that sparked your interest, or somebody said a soundbite, something that made you say, you know what, let me get on to happyfilm.com and get my ticket. Okay. And one thing, just a little a piece for everybody that's on the live stream, because we haven't, we've been sending out emails, but we want to make sure everybody understands, because we're not taping this. We're not, like he said, we're not going to be making this into a digital download or anything like that. You have 72 hours. Well, no, you have until Tuesday at 12 a.m. to see it. Okay, so you can rewind it, you can do all that good stuff, but after Tuesday, 12 a.m., it will be taken down. So make sure that you plan accordingly if you have to work, because even if you email us afterwards, there's nothing we'll be able to do. Okay, so make sure, family, that you are you're in it live. I tell you, it's going to be one hell of a roller coaster ride. That's all I have to say. Get your little tissues. I heard Dr. Susan Tata say, "Oh, she don't want to make nobody cry." She already damn near almost made us cry on this right here. So I'm telling you, it's going to be fire come February 4th. Yep, fire. You have anything to add, Taki, before we roll out?
No, I just glad I had an opportunity to come and be here, and looking forward to Saturday. Still some things ahead of us we got to take care of, but people walk in the door, they're going to feel the spirit of the ancestors is going to be with us, and we know we're working in our divine purpose, and this is going to be a beautiful experience, and it's definitely going to be something that's going to be one for the ages, and people are going to be talking about it for a long time. And this is something you don't want to miss, but if you do miss it, hey, it's on you, because you've heard about it. By now, you should have heard it by now. You should have heard about it. We've been doing this maybe 2.5 months, and we wanted to get a nice start. I think when we did Detroit, we made it only a month out. We started talking about it.
Yeah.
This thing we've been talking about since November. Since November, you know what I mean? We've been talking about the Happy Day of Black Excellence. So, I think a lot of time we've been talking about it. We invested a lot of energy. Everyone in this panel invested a lot of energy, and particularly our elders, Professor Smalls and Fadishi, they availed themselves. Countless times we calling them. You do this interview. Sometimes it's last minute. I called Professor Smalls last week, 10 minutes before, and he jumped on. And that's kind of what this thing is about. Dr. Susan Tata came in from Germany, and the brother Chris is coming from California. So Ken is from Detroit. Everybody is putting in, and they invested a lot of love into this. We want that love to be felt, and that's just some of the people here, and there's so many. And visitors coming from California. We can go on and on and on. Kaba avails himself the same way Infudishi and Jihuti Miss and Professor Smalls does. Jumps on in a minute notice. Call him, all right, I got you. I'm on. They be on for hours. What I'm saying? Talking, promoting, and just
with
doing
presentations. No, with full-on presentations. Not just you putting up slides and pulling out books that have passages. So it's they are definitely,
Yeah, and that's important, because when you think about that, that's centered in love for your people. that's not done from a selfish place. That's done from an unselfish place. People are doing that because they really care. They're really doing that because they believe in the work that they're doing. And, you know, we want, and that same energy is going to be felt on Saturday.
Yeah, and you know what? Peace out to Jamar Milton. He's in the chat. He will be performing at the Happy Day of Black Excellence along with Lyrical Faith. She has some poetry for us. And Brand Nubian will be in the house, you know, with performing a couple of their songs. So it's going to be, listen, it's going to be fire. Yeah, dope.com. It's going to be fire. All right, everyone. Well, you know, if you don't have anything else, Taki, you good?
I'm good. I'm good.
Everybody's good. Okay, family. So, I'm going to make sure that you know, I'm on a different device. I start off on one device. I'm on a different device, so I got to figure out how to do this on this device. So I'm going to remove you guys. Thank you so much, and I will see all of you guys on Saturday. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, Ashe. Good night to everyone. Bye.
Yes. Okay, wait. Okay. You know what, Taki? I think there's a little Tata there. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'll see you, Dr. Tata. All right, fam. Okay, Taki. I'm getting ready to sign us out, all right?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm trying to figure this out. Family, make sure February 4th, go to happyfilm.com, get your tickets. And yeah, it's going to be fire.
Yes.
I don't know what we can talk about in this nation without talking about white superiority, honestly.
Who defines the meaning of God also defines the relationship between economy and God.
African Americans spent $1.3 trillion last year, making us the 16th wealthiest nation in the world. Why have we not turned those riches into wealth to develop our community?